If this is your first time checking out the channel, my name's Justin and this is ShedSome R6. In the last episode, we changed the rear brake pads on the bike, we changed the stator gasket, like the stator cover gasket, we changed the front engine sprocket, and the plan is today to get the chain changed and the rear sprocket. The last episode we ran into a little difficulty with one of the nuts for the rear sprocket, but we're going to figure that out today as well. We're going to get this on some stands and we're going to get started. Looking at what's left on the parts table, today we have the rear sprocket, the 48 tooth, the under fender, hopefully we'll get to that today, and the chain, hopefully we will get that on today. My chain kind of semi-broke last time I did a chain. The thread's kind of stripped out of it, but I'm hoping we can make it do to get by today. If not, I will get the tool and get that finished. And we still have a few leftover bolts from that timing cover that we decided not to change. And then we have one locating dowel left because the stator cover, I thought one was missing, or I thought two were missing, but only one was. Now we have the spare master links. But there's not much to do today. The only tough parts are going to be the chain and getting the nut off of that other rear sprocket. In the last episode, if you remember me putting on the gas tank, I forgot to turn on the peacock. So we also have to dig into that today and get that turned back on. So when we're done, we could actually ride. I figured what we might as well get done first is get this back tire off and try and get that sprocket nut off. So I'd really like to get the new sprocket on so we could get right to working on the chain. I'd rather not get the new chain on and then deal with the sprocket. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I think what we're gonna have to do with this is just kind of use pliers and get what we can of the nut off, and then probably end up having to replace this stud. But if we don't end up having to, I'm just gonna get a new nut for now till one will come in the mail. So I might get one from like Lowe's just with the same threads, just to hold this over so at least I can ride. And then if we do mar up these threads a little bit, I have a tap and die kit that I can touch those threads up with and hopefully get those to where they will have a little bit of bite. I want to fiddle with this and not bore you guys with it, but I'll let you know how I make out. Alright guys, as you can see, where we ran into a pretty big setback. It's going to be a project to figure out, but that stud is done for. For now I just got the sprocket put on, and I'm gonna use it to at least work on the chain. I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do about this yet, I read a few things online how to get it out, and I don't have a welder, so I can't really like weld anything to it to spin it out. So I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do. So I guess we're gonna work on the chain a little bit and at least get that off. Knowing the luck we're having though, I'm gonna run into issues with that too. So I guess we'll find out. I know this probably won't go as planned because nothing's going as planned today, but we're gonna give it a shot. I just have to push out one of these pins. And this tool has been used for a chain before, and it isn't. It's a very cheap tool, but I don't know if it'll work because it's I think these threads are stripped pretty much. Pretty much to the point of not being able to use this one. So I guess nothing today is going as planned. So there is a chance you guys will never even see this video because absolutely nothing today has worked. And there's no point in showing it if I have accomplished nothing. That would be kind of a pointless video. I have one other idea, and that's just crank this in all the way and just use this big pin to just push it out. Probably end up snapping, but at this point I don't really care. One of these days I'll end up using hopefully a more expensive set, and I'll be able to see how much better it works, which I'm assuming it would be a lot better just because that's maxed out for what I did. At least I can turn this more now, hopefully, because we're to the good threads. And that just went loose, so that means that pin is out. There. I can show you a trick that maybe sometime could help you guys out. I just have to grab it, the new chain. So I don't know how much of this you'll actually be able to see. but I tried to get you the best angle as I could. At this point, I'm even starting to think about not putting the maintenance videos up and just doing vlogs, because I'm just fed up with it at this point. And it sucks because I do love working on my bike. I don't have any problems with that. It's just I've been having a lot of difficulty. Today, of all days, like I've worked on my bike countless times and never had the issues I've had today. I mean, yeah, I've ran into little issues, obviously, but nothing like this. Not as many frustrating issues. I mean, I did have the problem of my bike dies all the time, like my battery doesn't stay charged. But I just kind of deal with that. Alright, I guess no matter what way we put this, they're not gonna. I mean, I'm sure there's some extra room at that front sprocket. I don't know how much, but it would definitely be a zip tie's worth. I don't see why it wouldn't be. There would have to be at least that much room, and it should just pull right through. And then we just slowly pull this chain, and it should feed right through for us. Oh yeah, not a single problem pulling that through. And I am gonna have to move that up quite a bit. And this is the stock chain, so I'm pretty sure I won't have to cut any off of it. Guess I'll just break the zip tie. And twist these. I'm just gonna go all the way forward with them. You should see all the metal shavings on my rim from cutting out that nut and that stud. Except on my end, I do have to admit it was a stupid idea, because now I have to deal with a stud. Because I got it partially cut through, and then the old bolt came off, loosened up. Like, as I was like halfway cut through, it loosened up. And then I found a bolt in a box of bolts that we have, and it fit it just like it should have. And I was just gonna tighten it on the half cut stud just to make it work for at least a few days so I'll get that other one out. And I was gonna take it really easy on it, obviously, which I know wasn't a bright idea. But as I was tightening it down, the stud snapped, which was kind of expected. So now I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do yet. So I just put the sprocket on temporarily so I could start working on this chain. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna be able to do it though, at least today. How do we go from that much slack to that much? At least I know I have some adjustment room. That's a good thing. I'll at least be able to get this side link pushed on, which I'll have to clean my hands and get a new battery in the camera because it's about to die. And I'll get you guys a new angle so you can at least see somewhat of this. So I'll do that. Alright, we have switched this out for another master link because I forgot these little O-rings. And after forcing the other one back off, I didn't dare reuse the plate. Just because I'd rather use another and just play it safe. Especially because the master links are only like I said before in another video, I think they're like $1.50. So I'm not too worried about those. It's not that big of a deal to have to use another. So if you are getting your parts from Partzilla for a site like that, I would recommend, if you're going to do this yourself, to get an extra master link. It's like if you're riveting the rivets in and you go too far, you might be able to very carefully grind the rivet down and push it back through and try again. I'm not positive. I'm sure I'll find out. I don't know if it's quite recommended, but it would probably work. But I guess that's what I think a lot, so. You don't want to push this like more than the other links. You want them to be the same width. Because you not only do you need enough pin to like mushroom out with the rivet, but you also don't want to bind this link up. In something like this, it would be nice to have a digital caliper. I think that's what you would call it. So that way you know they're the same width. And then you could even measure when you flare it out. And that's pushed on, it just needs flared out. But you can see that this link is not bound up, which is good so far. And these are the same width on each side. Now these just need flared out, which there's a chance we won't be able to do today because of my tool, but I am going to look in the toolbox and see if there is another tool. So pretty much to sum things up today, the only successful thing we have done today is get the new chain on the bike. We do still have to rivet the masterlink here. I did get the plate pushed on and it's not bound up or anything. I got everything snugged up just so I could get it off these stands and moved out of the way. But so far, like, that chain is so much better than it was before. Like before, you couldn't even roll this wheel backwards, is how bad it would catch and pop. And it's just because all these teeth were curved, I believe, forward. So when you tried to roll it backwards, it would sit on top of the tooth and then it would pop down when there was enough tension. And then the rear sprocket, that is on. This bolt is snapped, which is that stud. But that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of cleaning up now. One interesting thing is when I was getting off this old sprocket, is I took the grinder to it and cut it. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool. There is a project that I'm coming up with using old sprockets and chains. At some point, when we gain a little bit of a following and get some subscribers, hopefully, there's going to be something I would like to give away to someone. And it will be a surprise what it's going to be, at least for now, until I decide how or what I'm going to do with it. I think that it is a really cool concept, and I think you guys would really appreciate it, especially if you're liking everything so far. I know it's right off the get-go, and there's not much to the channel yet, and we haven't even had our first moto vlog. But the bike needs the maintenance that it's been needing for quite a while, and when we get all this maintenance done, then we can get on the road with it. But for now, there wasn't much progress today, but we'll get there. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked any of the content so far, like, subscribe, whatever you want. If you didn't like it, let me know down below. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons not to like it, but at the end of the day, if it's not like that, it's understandable. And if you want to hate on something, I'd rather it be in the comment section of my video rather than anywhere else out there. So if you want, shed some hate, but I'm gonna get going, and thanks for watching. This is what was left of that bolt when it finally broke free. I had used the grinder and ground halfway through the stud, and then it finally just broke free and came undone. And it actually unscrewed from the threads in this condition. Don't know how that held on so long, but many hours were spent getting that off, and now I'm sure many hours will be spent to get the stud changed. See you guys later.